Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you how I've decorated this lovely gift box. It's just a basic gift box that most of us get during the Christmas period, but I've repurposed it for me to be able to use it for something else. So I'll show you how to make the polymer clay roses on the top and how I've covered the outside of it with some decorative papers. And it's really fun to do. You can use any sort of gift box that you've got. It doesn't have to be a heart-shaped one. So yeah, all you need is a little time, some paper and some polymer clay. So let's get started and I'll show you how. Right, so to start with, we're going to be decorating the base box. As you can see, this was just a gift box that you get generally at Christmas, but I want to repurpose it for something else. Obviously this is a heart, so it's perfect for Valentine's Day. Sorry, just move that so I can see the ring in my hair. But this is just one when you use it for. You can put chocolates in it, you can put memory sentiments in it, anything that you can really think of, really. So I just want to repurpose it because, as you can see, it's quite a good sturdy box and it's a good size as well. So it can fit a lot of chocolates in that, which is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover the sides and the base. Well, I'm going to put a plain top on this as well, but you'll see what I'm going to do. Now, this paper pad's the Crafter's Companion Nature's Garden Farmhouse paper pad, and lots of lovely different patterns in, as you can see. But I'm going to go. Let's see. What shall I go for? I'm going to be doing roses, so I want to see which ones to go first. Sorry, I'm terrible at deciding, but most crafters that when you've got lots of choices, and it's like, oh, which to pick. Let's go with this one, I think. Has that one got the dots on the back? Yeah, let's go with this one because we're going to be decorating the top of my roses. So I just want to put something not plain, but a lot simpler because the top's going to really be the main feature of it. So just about those two sides. I'm going to go with this one. So what I'm going to do is, let's just take the lid off first. Come on out. Okay, I'll do the base one first. Now on the base one we only need to cover up the bottom of it. So we can't really put anything around the sides because this has still got to fit over the top of it. So I'm just going to cover up the bottom so you can't see that really. So you just want to take your box. It doesn't have to be, like I say, it doesn't have to be a heart one. It's just, this is what I've got. It can be square if you've got, it's just after Christmas now, and you've probably got lots of these gift sets, over Christmas time. So, it's just a perfect. Oh, the led's broke on my pen. So you may have got these already, but me being me, I like storage and fancy boxes. So whenever I get anything like this, I'll find any excuse to keep it and do something with it. So just going around the outside. And you can barely see that one. I think it's because it's a hard lead. That's why. It's a strong one, a harder lead, so it's harder to show up. Let's just test this one. Yeah, that one's fine. Let's go again. I can just about see it off camera, but you won't see that. So let's go back around. There we go. So whether if you can see that any better, I've just gone around it with that. So simply, you just want to cut it out. Now, because I've gone around the outside of the box, it's probably going to be slightly bigger than what the bit is that I'm trying to cover. So I may be able to trim off a little bit, but we'll see once I've put this one out. Like I said, this is just basically for me to cover up what was in the box that's on the bottom. So, okay. Oh, well, not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it to the bottom, and then once it's dry I can flip this over and I can use a craft knife just to get any bits that are just coming off. So I'm just going to use my cloud glue. You can use PVA, but I prefer not to. Reason being, PVA is a water-based adhesive, so when you use it with paper and things, if you've ever noticed when you've used PVA when you're doing it, it can make it sort of ripple and bubble. It's because of the water that's in it, whereas this stuff, it's alcohol based, so it doesn't do it. It evaporates differently. So what I'm going to do with that, so I just need to set that to the side and let that dry, and then just trim it if I need to. Right, so this is just going to be as a base for me to stick all my roses onto. So it doesn't need to be patterned because I'm going to cover the entire lid with roses and leaves. So again, I'm just going to do exactly the same with this. So yeah, just think about different boxes that you've gotten within presents that you've received. I mean, if you're watching this later on, and it's not just after Christmas when you've got these, you might have just got some for your birthday or anything like that. Because a lot of stuff gets sent to recycling or landfill or whatever, and when we can repurpose it for other things, you know, to me it's just making most out of it. And if somebody bought you this as a gift, the box, and you're making it into something new, it seems like you're getting two presents really. Plus, you could send it back to them in a gift further down the future and just say, this is part of what you gave me, I'm embellishing it, and you could give that as a gift to them. You know, or you could put photos of you and that person within the box and have it as a memory thing. So there's lots of different things that you can do with it. So again, I'm just going to stick this on, and then we'll measure the sides. Now, because this is a coated card, it may take a little while for it to dry, so I'm going to leave it off and let it dry while I make my roses. And again, once it's fully dry, I can go around and I can just snip any little bits off. So we've got a nice plain base. So let's measure how deep this is. I want it to come up to the top, so it's about 5.5 centimetres. So I'll put it as that. Right, let's get my... So if you've not got a guillotine, you can just measure it with a ruler and a pencil, and then you can use your scissors. So go under there. So I'm going to about there, just put it up to the line that's nearest you. And I've done it in centimetres. I probably ought to have done it in inches really, but oh well. It has got both measurements on this, it's just that the grid that's on here is in inches. So yeah, that's perfect. So 5.5. So I just need to get another one and a little bit out of the other one. So like that as the joint. So I want to try and get as much out of this paper as I can, so I'm not cutting into a sheet when I don't need to. So again, that there. And I'll just put one more of this. And all we're going to do now is just stick this on. So I don't really need to see me doing all that. I'm going to start sticking from that point there. So instead of putting it directly on the box with this one, I'm going to take that shorter one first, because we're going to be having the join there. So if you're having to do it like me and doing it in smaller pieces, go to the bit where they're actually going to, there's going to be the little gap, and put your bottom piece on first, so when the stick over, it's got a more seamless finish, so it'll make sense. Whoop. I'm always dropping stuff. When this sets and dries completely, it goes really, really hard, so it'll just reinforce the box even more. Okay, so and the beauty about the Collal glue is, if you get anywhere you don't want it to go, you can rub it off, and it sort of comes like a rubbery paste. No, a bit like you know, like what a rubber feels like, an eraser. It was a bit like that. It comes up like you just keep on rubbing it, and then it'll come off into like a little ball. Get back to this part now. The camera battery ran out, so there might be a bit of break in between there. So I apologise if it looks a bit off. Anyway, right. So I'm just going to take these pieces now, and I'm going to be just going around here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the pointy part of the heart. So I'm just going to put my glue all the way along the back. If you want to try and measure the proper length of the paper that you need, using a sewing measuring tape, so it can go around the curve, feel free. I can't be bothered. Really can't. This is just something that I've been wanting to do, and I don't want too much thinking about it really. Right, so I'm just going to go a little bit over the pointy end. I'm just going to have that crease. Okay, and then I'm going to go around here. And then because I've already put that piece on here, this is going to go over it, and hopefully it will give a more seamless finish. Right, so this is what I was telling you about the glue. You can see it's just rubbing off here. All you need to do is just keep rubbing at it like this. That's all it does. Sorry if the lighting's not very good. I think I knocked it when I was coming back. And it just comes off sort of like in a little gummy ball type thing. So, and then I'll just get the other one. Now this one I'm going to put right up to the point of the heart. I need to actually check my stash of this, see how much I've got left. Not my birthday in 2023, in 2022 I think. I can't remember. I've slept since then. I got quite a big stash of the glue because it was on offer at Crafter's Companion, and I'm still using it. But you can also get these bigger bottles. These were on offer and they're on 2 for £10. And I get 20% discount because I'm a platinum member. So I got 2 for £8, which is fantastic. Because usually they're £6.99 each, these bigger bottles. Not sure how much these ones are, but in this one you get 250ml. In one of these is 100ml. So it were a good buy, so I'll have to see whether they've got any more on, depending on how much I've got left. Right, so we'll go right up to the point. Now, if this bit bothers you, you can paint it, you can stick some more paper on it. It'll probably get covered up with some tissue paper from whatever I put inside it anyway. So I just need to go and let this fully dry. You can just see there's a few little bits that I'll need to cut off with my craft knife. But I'm going to go put this somewhere to dry safely, and I'll come back and show you how to make the roses. So it's the next day now, and I'm going to make some roses to put on the top of our box. Now, I've already been making some off camera, so I'll show you those in a little while. But I'm wanting to make some red ones now. I don't want it to be this stark red, so it's just so pillar box red. It's called pomegranate. It's part of my sculpture mix and I've got at Christmas, and it's pomegranate. But I've taken half a packet of that, and I've just taken half of an eighth of a packet of pearl, and I just want to sort of take the starkness off of the red, really. So I'm just going to mix that up. So when you're thinking of doing if you're doing it the same way as what I am, think whether if you have a colour scheme in mind, or whether if there's a particular celebration that you're making it for, or it's got something inside it that you want to colour coordinate it with. Just think about that when you're making your flowers for the top. Now, I'm doing roses just because I love them. You can do any type of flower. So there's lots of different things that you can do with this. Now, as you can see, it's just starting to blend and the colours coming through. So I just wanted it to sort of have that bit of a shimmer coming off, and it's taking away that edge now, so it's not as like vibrant red as what it was. And now we're on the build up to Valentine's Day. All the red roses, the prices are going skyrocketing through the roof. But then the week after, they go back down to normal prices. But these ones will last forever. So these are definitely good ones to make. Nearly done. There we go. I don't know if you can see on that one. It's just got a bit of a shimmer to it now. Oh no, we've still got a little bit that we didn't mix in. That's okay then. Doesn't take long to do. Now this sculpture is quite easy to condition, so it didn't take me very long at all really. So let's see more on that one, I think. It's got a sheen. No, dear, no, you're better off on that one. It's just now got that little bit of a pearly sheen to it. Now, this is on the thickest setting. I'm wanting to put it to, I think it was number 3 that I was using. I'll just 2, 3. Because you don't want your petals to be too thick, that it makes your roses really chunky looking, which roses don't. The nice and the, I can't think of the word, subtle. I don't know whether if that's the right word, I don't know. Elegant, that's you might have the word in my head, but it just won't come out. Right, so I've got my clay in front of me now. Now I'm going to be using my set of heart cutters, which I did a quick video on just before Christmas, just showing you that they're on sale in my Etsy shop. You don't have to use these cutters. If you've got heart cutters already, that's absolutely fine. This is just what I'm using, so that's just what I'm going to show you to do. Now I've taken the 5th from the bottom of the stack, so yeah, about this sort of size. The petals aren't going to stay this size. I've picked this size for a simple reason, and I'll explain that. Right, so you need something to use as your release. I use water. And then you just want to cut yourself out lots of hearts. Now, depending on how big you want your roses to be, will depend on how, how many hearts you cut out to make into petals. I have done a video before on making roses with teardrop cutters. It's the same idea as that, but you're just getting an extra bit of a frilly petal. So, it sort of makes the rose grow quicker than grow. Build quicker. It's not a real flower, Becca. Oh dear. It's one of them days. Right, so I'll just do those ones for now. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do all of them. Right, so I've got 8 going on there. Move it out of the way. And you just want to take your blade, and if you've used a glass mat like what I've got, just want to lift them up and then just smooth out any edges. With any cutter, you can get these fuzzy edges, and they're easy to cut off. It's just where like the cutter goes down and it's got the really, really thin flat edge, that does the cutting. But it's easy to take care of anyway. So now to do the beginning of the rose, I've been cutting my heart down the middle. Now let's see, just zoom in a little bit more because I don't want this to go fuzzy. You need to know what I'm doing. So we're just going to take out the more sloped side of the heart, and I'm just going to curl it round onto itself. Okay. You're just going to do a tight spiral. You can see like this. Now, the reason we're using the bigger cutters is so you've got something to hold on to the bottom, but we're going to be trimming that off in a little while. But it's easier for you putting your flower together because you're not putting it onto any wire or anything like that. If you've got them on wire, they're easy to move around and things. You don't have to have this little bit at the bottom. And then I'm just going to put that, see there, over the join of the last petal. Then wrap it around there. So you get that loop sort of centre that you get in roses. Like what the buds are like. I'm trying to get it at the best angle for you to see. But yeah, that's just what the centre one's like. Then for the rest of them, you're using whole hearts. And like I say, it just depends on how big of a rose you want to go. And then what I've been doing is I've been taking my heart here, and then where one of the joins is on the outside, just put that in the centre of one of the bumpy parts on the rose. Just lift it up just a little bit, just so it's getting some height to it. Then I like to start bending my petals out as I'm doing it this way, because it can be a little bit awkward if you're doing it once you've got them all wrapped around. Okay, and then on the next side, we'll do the same. We just pinch them together. Okay, and then before you stick this one down, just take your next part. Now you can get something that you use in sugar paste terms, and I think it's a veiner, and it's basically a mould that you press your petals down into in between two sides, and it gives that sort of grain effect to them. You can do it without it, but because this is just a gift box, I'm not bothering putting it on. But if I was making a cake, I would definitely put the graining on, so to make them look like they were real flowers. Right, so gathering on, you just want to interlock the next heart just a little, and then when you're pulling it around, you can see it goes in that next gap. Just there. So again, so pinch the petal, and then that's my needle tool. I just like to try and curl over the petals just a little bit as we're doing it. So like I said, if you try to, you can do it when you've got all the petals on, but it just makes it a little bit more awkward to do. So I just prefer to do it as I'm going around, you know, as I'm building the flower to start with anyway. So before we go to the next one, the next heart, and then we're going to do that again. We're just going to keep building. Now the idea is the next petal goes round about over the join of the layer below it, so it sort of closes up the gap. I'm trying to think of the words. I think I've left my brain in bed today. Oh well, not much different there, is there? Right, so I've got that one going. Now these can take some time. If you don't want to take as much time as what I'm doing it, you can do them really, really quickly. Just, I'm awkward and I like to get them looking right. So especially if I'm going to be giving it as a gift or anything, I want it to look professional looking. So, and plus I did the sugar crafting course, so the sugar craft reminder saying do this, do this, do this. And with polymer clay you don't need to do all the same stuff, same sort of ideas, but with sugar paste there's lots of different things that you do with it, and yeah, but lots of different tools as well, which you don't actually need with the polymer clay. So this one. Now as your rose gets bigger, you want to be letting the petals fall outwards and be a little bit bigger and not sort of squish straight up to the centre of the rose, because as a flower is blooming it opens up, so that's what you're trying to replicate. So as you can see I'm just getting slightly bigger now. I think this might be my last layer that I'll put on. This is probably about the size that I'm wanting. Okay. Now in sugar crafting you can actually add wired petals to it if you want to do really big flowers, and you put the wire down the centre vein and you sort of twist them around the stalk of the centre of the flower, and it makes them open up really wide. It's really beautiful how it works. Now I'm going to put one more on. It doesn't look as even as I'd want it to. Polymer clay is a bit more forgiving than what sugar paste is. So you've got more of a bigger gap for you know, like to, if you've made a mistake you can easily pick it back off, whereas with sugar paste you don't get that luxury all the time. And then at the outside one I like to roll over just a little, because if you look at a rose they tend to do that on the outside of the petals, they sort of curve over. So I'm putting these little pinches in just to make it look so like as it's going over. And you can just use your needle tool just to push your petals to however you want them. Okay, so then that's your rose. And then the next bit is you need a flat base, because we're going to be sticking this to our box. And then I'm trying to get it so it's that way, and then just chop off the majority of that bottom. That's all you're going to need. Okay, so that's it. So like I said, I've already been making some in some other colours, which I'll just show you now. And these are more some burgundy ones, and these pink ones, you'll be surprised to know, I use neon pink. Now, if you watched my video of what did I get for Christmas, I said I have no idea what I am going to do with this. So when I was playing around with it, I thought, I'll see if I can make a decent pink. So I took, I think it was half a packet of pearl white, and then I took a shaving, just a shaving, off the edge of the block, and we got this pink. I think I've got a little bit left. So yeah, so it's toned down really, really, really well. So I think whenever I'm going to be making things, I'll just use it for that, because I don't think there's anything that I'm going to make that's that vibrant pink. I was just curious what it was going to turn out like. So I'm going to go and make some more roses, because you don't need to see me doing these, you know, over and over and over again. So I'll go and do those, and I'll be back in just a second. All my roses done now, and I wanted to put some greenery into it. So I'm just taking one of my leaf canes. Probably see it better up there. And I'm just going to take some slices from this and just form it into a leaf shape, just simply because I want it to fill it out, and plus the roses are taking me out of the age. It's taking me longer than I thought that they were going to do. So if you don't do caning, you could use a mould to make some leaves if you've got a mould, or you could quite easily just take a little bit of clay and shape it into a teardrop shape and put some lines in it with a needle tool, just to make it look like a leaf. But me, I've got 2 boxes full of canes that I really need to get used up. So I thought I might as well use one. So I've reduced one down because I like to leave them larger for when I want to use them, so I can reduce it down to the size that I'm wanting. So I've got it to roughly about the size that I want now, and I just want to mark it out to the thickness that I want. Now, I don't need to make them as thick as what I do with my beads, because obviously I'm not going to be skewering them or anything like that, so they can be relatively thin. So I'm going to take the smallest of my clay marking tools. This is the 2.5mm one. You can find these in my Etsy shop if you're wanting to get some. Right, so I'm just going to line it up towards the edge of the marker, and then I'm just going to press down gently, sort of rock it backwards and forwards, and then you get these little lines going along it. You can see that? It's a bit like a centipede, that, doesn't it? I never thought really like that before. Been playing with clay for far too long today. Right, anyway, so let's just neaten off this edge, and then wherever you've got your, see where you've got your little lines that you've just pushed down into, you slice. Now when you're doing a circular cane, I like to try and rock it backwards and forwards with the blade. You'll be able to see it on that camera anyway. Just so that it doesn't squish it too much. So let's just get a few of those. I think these end ones are going to be wonky. Oh dear. It's fine. It don't matter. I'm going to be reshaping them anyway, but the veins have gone a little bit to the sides where I don't want them to go. But anyway, right, let's just get one of these. So if you get one like that you've just like missed the edge off, you can see there, don't worry about it. Just put it in between your fingers and then just mould it into more of a leaf shape. You can put the cane into this shape before you slice. I prefer to do it afterwards, simply because if you were to pinch this end of it and do that all the way down, it can have twisted when you've been reducing your cane. So if you've pinched at this side and it's twisted halfway around the cane sort of down here, you're not going to know that. So you can sort of try and line it up, like if you're looking at both the ends, and do it that way. I just prefer doing it this way, just simply because I can get it more accurate to what I'm wanting. So I will cut all these slices up and make them into leaf shapes. I'm waiting for the roses to finish baking, and then once the leaves are baked we can pop it all together. So I'll be right back when they're all ready. Right, so it's another day. I've got all my roses done and I've got my leaves baked, and I'm just going to start decorating the top now. So I thought I'd open this up so you could see it with me. So I've got I've got all our lovely roses. Now, as you can see, it's not going to cover the entire thing, so we've got some gaps in, and that's what the leaves are to help do. But what I also want to do is to put some lace around the edge a bit. So, get this back in. And this was sort of just to try and fill a little bit of space as well. So this is just some butterfly lace that I got from the Crafts Companion shop. It's on a lovely reel, so I'll be able to use it afterwards for another one. So, I'm far enough out for you to be able to see it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it on so it's just going over the edge. So you can see, I'll do a bit of time and you'll see. So I'm going to be using my hot glue gun just for quickness. You could use your regular glue, but this sticks a bit quicker and you're not sat there forever holding it. So I'm just going to just do a little bit at a time. I don't want to be putting too much glue on and then it's squidging out when I don't want it to. So as you can see, I'm starting up by the dip of the heart. Fingerprints on there. Thing with the red clay. The colour transfer is a nightmare. It'll be easy for you to see once I can tip it on the side. Yeah, you don't have to do this step. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. It's your box at the end of the day. You do what you like with it. I've got it, so I'm using it. So I think I've probably got more ribbon and lace I can use in one lifetime. So any chance to use some of that up, but it's always a good thing in my book. Right, so I've got back round to where we started, and I'm just going to snip this off now. So I'm just getting an idea where it's going to be finishing. So it's probably going to be about halfway through a butterfly. So I'm sorry, butterfly, I'm going to have to chop you in half. There we go. Just stick that a little bit down now. There we go. I'll put it on so I can lift it up. And I've just got that going around the edge. So it just covers up that little bit of a gap that's in between the top paper that I put on and this side one as well. So you could also do it around the bottom if you wanted to put something round on here, because I've just got a slight little lip that you can see. It don't bother me. Plus it's going to be a box I'm for keeping anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Right, let's put another glue stick in. Just ready. Now, the next bit is putting our roses on. So as you can see, I've got them sort of laid out in here. Oh, got my glue stick. Right, put another one in. Didn't want that one anyway. Right, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and transfer them as how I've got them on here, because I've sort of like distributed them, you know, like, so there's a bit of each colour going on in each section. There's more of one colour than there is of others and things like that, but I wanted it to sort of just be, you know, like just a wash of the different colours really. So just to stick them on, it's just, again, just using the glue gun. So this bit will be sped up like the other one was, because you don't need to see me in real time sticking these on, because it might take me a while. So I'm just popping a little bit of glue onto the back, and then just placing them roughly where I've got them in the lid half of the box. So I'll get cracking with this and I'll talk to you in a second. Right, so that's all the roses added to it now. I just need to go and grab my leaves out of the oven because I've just finished baking. So once they're cooled, I'll come back and we can finish our box. Right, so you can see I've got a nice little bunch of leaves going on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fit them in between the roses randomly. So again, I'll speed this bit up so you don't have to watch it in real time. But I just thought you might like to see the transformation of the whole box. There, so I've got all my roses and leaves now stuck on. Get the glue gun out of the way. Burnt myself a couple of times, but I always do when I get my glue gun out. So I'm really happy with how that's turned out. A little bit further now, you don't need to see the close-up thing. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Only thing that I've got to do is take all these little bits of hot glue strings off. Because, yeah, that's the other downside to using a hot glue gun, is you get lots of these little stringy things. But luckily, they do come off. So I will be spending the next 5 or 10 minutes trying to get all these little strings off. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me transform this gift box into something new. So whenever you've got anything like that, just think what you can do to repurpose it for something else. Because it was a really nice shaped gift box, and it just seemed a shame to, not do anything with it. I have got an addiction to boxes, so I do like them as well. I know I'm a bit odd, I like boxes and tins. But yeah, now I'll be able to use this for something else. So the gift that was in it, all the lotions and potions and all that sort of stuff, that was a gift. But now I've got a second gift out of it because I've got something that I've enjoyed making and I can use it for something else. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you've any questions, please ask me in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. If you like the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, that'd be appreciated too. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.